true down to the core. I like that. I like what it says. I like what it feels like. I like being that way. If somebody is true, you know that they're going to do the right thing. I came across some words that I really, really like, and I want to instill it in you. And those words are, when liberty is at jeopardy, I will always do what is right. So much of what is going on in our lives now is full of commotion. Somebody says this, somebody feels that way, you read this, you don't understand. Everything is in commotion, and we are bombarded with thoughts of everybody's opinions. And should I be patriotic? Should I not? Should I stand for what I believe in? And is what I believe in even right? Those are questions that really only you can answer. However, it's really wise to just step back and look at what you truly feel. When you are living life right now, perhaps things have happened where you've lost your idealism. You've lost that real youthful look on life, saying, well, I can make a difference. You haven't lost that, because frankly, you still can make a difference. And until your dying breath, you can make a difference. And when you're true, right down to that very center core, to that metal of what you really are, it will impact more people than you realize. Standing for what you really feel is right. Not because there's a movement going this way, or there's a movement going that way, or what you read on social media, or what you hear in the news, or what people are doing, what they're protesting against. What you feel in your heart, you gotta listen to that. And frankly, it's hard, because we've come to a time where we even voice our opinions and we're immediately criticized. We're immediately judged. Well, how dare you? And you can't. And you know what? We can. And we've got to get to the point where there are few who stand up and say, you know what? This just isn't right. And I refuse to be a part of it. And when you start living that way, even in the smallest actions, you're going to start finding more and more power and ability to stand up for the bigger things that you're going to need to do. And you're going to impact those around you. If you surround yourself with people who are true, right down to that core, and when people see your conviction, my goodness, what an amazing example it is. And you may think, well, I'm just one. And yes, you are. Until somebody else notices and they realize, you know, I feel the same way. And then somebody else notices. And fairly soon, you're going to realize that there is going to be a movement of good. And what we need is we need to care more. We just do. We need to care for our country more. We need to care for our surroundings more. We need to care for each other more. We need to care for our other opinions more. We need to be tolerant of what is. I mean, there's so many things we cannot change. Some things that are just downright wrong. And if you don't accept those, even silently in your heart, and they won't become a part of you. And so much of what you are going to shape your life into is what you are now. And when you decide, you know what, I have convictions, I have beliefs, I believe that things are a certain way. And if you believe in something that is unpopular and you're shouted down for it, even if you voice it, even if it's not appropriate to voice, you still voice it inside your heart. It will still keep you true to your core. And when liberty is at stake, you know what? We need a few good men and women to say, you know what? This is my life. This is what I believe. And when you have that metal, which is galvanized, which means it doesn't rust, it means it's never tarnished, it changes what you can do, the impact you can have for good. And it makes a difference. I have been blessed, or maybe some would call it a curse, to have very strong convictions. And I have ever since I was little. And I believe what I believe, and I love what we have in this country. Patriotism is not wrong. It just isn't. And when you really feel it, then you are able to believe and to live and to have an outlook on life, which is amazing. You may feel a lot more sorrow than you wish. And you may feel a lot more pity on others than you thought possible. Not feeling sorry for them, but wishing, somehow that they could see life a little differently. But letting it impact what you believe and what you are is never a good choice. So keep your values. Really keep them, because they are what you own. And no one, I don't care how hard they try, no one can take those away from you. They're yours. So own them. Blow on that fire of the conviction you have so it keeps burning, even though it gets dampened and it gets wet. I don't care. You still have it. And let's start making a bigger difference. And let's start making the choices that we make good. Because that's what we have to give in this life. Those choices, the good and the bad, choosing the right and the wrong, and choosing it for the better of mankind. So keep your core values.